Guys, girls, all of y'all, everyone, very good afternoon, everyone. Very good afternoon and welcome to today's class. I hope all of y'all are keeping fine, doing good wherever you guys are. Okay. Students online, I have sent you your Unit 1 exam paper marks. Okay. Unit 2, I can say it's marked, but I didn't get time to send it to you all. I'll have it sent by the end of today. I'll have it sent to you all. Okay. All right, everybody, guys, girls, all of y'all, with regard to your Unit 1 paper, keep in mind, when it comes to compared to O-level, when it comes to A-level, the examiner is a lot more stricter that you should be writing his answers. In O-level, they give flexibility. Okay, in O-level, basically, they are like, if the answer is somewhat similar to what the examiner has said, accept it. But in A-level, they become even more strict. It has to be very much similar to what the examiner is saying to accept it. Okay, boys, all of you over here. Okay, now when marking your paper, I did mark your paper. We had another examiner. Keep two people, please. All right, you come and sit here below. Okay, I'll give you a paper shortly. When marking your paper, the person who marked your paper, he has been quite flexible with your Unit 1 paper, also with Unit 2. Okay, if I was marking it, I think it would have been a lot lesser than what you all have scored. Okay, everybody, at least 10 to 15 marks lesser than what you all have achieved. Okay, so don't get too excited with the Unit 1 marks. It's okay, it's not bad. But remember, if I was marking it, I would have been a lot more stricter. It would have come down to at least about 10, 15 lesser than what you all have scored. Okay, because the person who was marking, who I gave it to him and I went through how he has marked, he has been quite lenient with you all. Okay, he has been quite lenient with you all. Where, for example, certain answers, even though the textbook and marking scheme don't mention it, he has accepted it. Okay, because it's somewhat similar to what the marking scheme says. What I'm saying is, when it comes to AS level and A2 level, the examiner is very strict. It has to be like, very similar to the marking scheme to accept it. Okay, it's a lot stricter than what O-level is. Okay, so this time the examiner has accepted it. The person who was marking, he has accepted it. But like I'm telling you all, 10 to 15 marks lesser it would have been if I was marking your papers. Okay, right. Anyway, everybody, this was your first exam now. This was your first exam. So no worries. We'll have a few more exams going forward. Let's see how your progress is then. But everybody, I want you all to know something before you all move forward today. Everyone, I want you all to understand how A-level IT works. How are the marks calculated? How are the grades given? Okay. And I want you all to realize that IT is not as difficult as you all think it is. Okay. Scoring good marks in IT, scoring an A in IT is not that difficult. Okay. Just bear with me. I'm going to show it to you all now. Okay. Everybody, first of all, let's understand the structure. So everyone, you all know about this structure now? Agree with this? This is how Unit 1 is. Unit 1, boys, everyone look here. Unit 1, there are 6 topics. How many have we completed so far? So far, we have completed 3 topics. We have another 3 to go. Okay. Unit 2, there are 5 topics. We have, your exam paper was based on 2 topics, HTML and CSS. We are right now doing JavaScript. And thereafter, guys, we have another 2 more theory topics related to HTML and CSS. Okay. Then, guys, you all know about the marks, no? 80 marks here, 80 marks here. This is 2 hours. This is 3 hours. You all know that, no? And I think the majority of the class is doing Unit 1 and Unit 2, this, the coming year, and then doing Unit 3 and Unit 4 separately. There are a few exceptions who are doing all 4 units at once, but the majority of the class is doing Unit 1 and Unit 2. Okay, no? So everybody, reminding you all again, everyone look here. Unit 1 is calculated out of 80. Unit 2 is also calculated out of 80 here. Okay, everybody? Right. There are so many things I have to tell you all, but today we're going to only focus on one thing. Okay, there are so many things for me to tell you all about how easy IT is and how you guys can achieve really good marks for it. But if I tell you all today itself, you guys will not remember anything. So I'll only focus on one thing, which is how do you score 100 marks in IT here? Everybody okay with this? How do you achieve 100 even though you didn't get everything correct? Okay, it is possible for you to achieve 100 even though everything was not correct in your paper. Okay, we'll talk about that only today, and in the upcoming weeks we'll talk about achieving A stars and world prizes in the upcoming weeks. Okay, now everybody, first of all, the paper is calculated out of 80 now. When it comes to calculating your final mark, they will take it out of 100. Agree? Okay, your paper Unit 1 is marked out of 80, But then when calculating your AS level grade, when calculating your A2 level grade, and when calculating your A level grade, they will convert all these marks into 100. Everybody okay with this? So I'll show you all a simple grade boundary document now. So everybody, if you come over here, can you all see over here? This is the 2025 grade boundaries. So everyone, can you all see raw? Raw is the mark out of 80. Your paper mark out of 80. Okay, your papers are all marked out of 80 now. So raw is the mark out of 80. So anything in 2025 June, this year, anything above 55 scored an A, anything above 49 scored a B, between 49 to 54 it is B, between 43 to 48 it is C. You all understand these grade boundaries now? Everyone, grade boundaries okay now? Okay, no problem over there. Then guys, for every mark, for what do you call, for the marks that you score for every unit, they will be converted into an UMS mark, a unified marking system. You know what unified marking system means? They try to convert it into a common marking system. Is it clear? So everybody, if you score 55 and above, it is equal to how much? It is equal to 80 and above. Okay, so for example, they have an online calculator for you to check how much your UMS mark is. Are you all following me up to now? Your paper is marked out of 80, but in your result sheet, they don't mention the raw mark. In your result sheet, they will mention the UMS mark, which means out of 100, how much did you score? Okay, right. So everybody, in 2025 June, if you scored 55, it is equal to 80. If you scored 56, it's about 81. If you score 57, it is equal to about 82 UMS mark. Okay, no? Nothing confusing there, no? Shall I prove it to you all? So everybody, I have a calculator over here. I have a calculator over here in June 2025 for which unit? For unit number 1. Let's change it to unit 1. Unit number 1. Okay. So for example, over here, guys, we'll pick a mark for you all to understand. Let's say, for example, you scored 46, Willow. If you score 46, it's between B and C, right? If you score 46, your grade is C. You got a C grade. Agree, no? Akash, okay with this? If you score 46, it's a C grade. What is the UMS mark? Let's see. It's going to be between 60 and 70. Agree? Exactly how much? I'll put 46 over here. They are saying it is equal to 65. Everyone okay with this? Right. It's equal to 65, between 60 and 70. Now, I'm not very interested in these B, C, D, EUs. I'm not interested in that. Let's focus on these A's. Okay? So the moment you score a 55, your UMS mark will be 80. Agree, no? If you score 56, how much will it be? It will be about 81. If you score 57, it will be about 82. Let's check and see here. So if you score 55 in June 2025 for unit 1, it's equal to about 80. 56 is equal to about 82. 57 is equal to about 83. 58 is equal to about 85. Can you see? It keeps changing. Okay. Now everybody, there is a certain point in your UMS mark. There is a certain point in your UMS mark. Once you cross that point, it is equal to 100. Didn't understand that. Everybody, watch this. 80, what do you call? If you score 55, it is 80. If you score 56, it's about 82. If it's 53, it's equal to about 87. It keeps increasing now. There is a certain point where the mark will become 100. Okay, let me show it to you all. So everybody, let's say, for example, I put 58, it's equal to 85. Let me put 60. You scored 60 out of 80. It is equal to 88. Let me make it 65. If you score 65 out of 80, it is equal to 97. Your results sheet will say you scored 97. Okay. Now watch this. If you score 69 out of 80, how many marks did you lose? You lost 11 marks. You lost 11 marks. So you scored 69 out of 80. On your result sheet, what do they say? You scored 100 marks, which means you're now eligible, not yet they are eligible for a world prize. Okay, to get a world prize, all 4 units should be 100 marks in your first attempt. All 4 units. But what am I trying to tell you all here? To get to 100 marks, do you need to get full marks? You don't. I'll tell you all one more crazy thing. You all understand this, right? You score 69, which means you have lost how many marks? You lost 11 marks. The paper is out of 80 now. You lost 11 marks and you still ended up with 100. Let me see how it's 68. 68 is also 100. 67 is also 100. 66, no, 67 onwards. 67 onwards is 100 marks. Let me tell you all this. Every unit 1 paper has a 12 marker, correct? Every unit 1 paper has a 12 marker question. You left the 12 marker question. You didn't even do it. Can you get 100 marks? You can get 100 marks still. Everybody okay with this? Scoring 100 in IT is very much possible for you all. Like I'm telling you all, just to bring it into perspective, I'm saying you left the 12 marker question. None of you all are going to leave it. All of you all are going to attempt it. And at least 1 or 2 marks you all will score. At least. None of you all are ever going to leave it. But I'm saying, let's say you all left the entire question. You can still go ahead and score 67. You can score 67, which is equal to 100. And one more thing, boys, girls, I want you all to understand over here, 2025 June has the highest grade boundaries. 2025 June has the highest grade boundaries. I'm telling you all about the highest grade boundaries. Everyone okay with this? I'm talking about the highest grade boundaries. But in terms of the highest grade boundaries, you had to score 67 to get 100. Okay? The grade boundaries change every year from 2020 to 2025. Every year it changed. 2020 had the lowest grade boundaries. Shall I show this to you all? Everyone look here. I did an analysis from 2020 to 2025. The highest A has ever been is 55. The lowest it has ever been is 30. Okay, you got more than half the paper wrong. Okay, and you can get an A. Okay, but this is in 2020. Do you all remember what happened in 2020? 2020 was COVID. Okay, so it was a major problem. Students not able to study, not able to revise. So what happened to grade boundaries? Grade boundaries came down heavily. There is also another reason. Edexcel new syllabus started in 2019, which means students had only 1 past paper to practice with. Is it clear? They had only 1 past paper to practice. They didn't have a lot of resources, which is why grade boundaries are very low. But on average, A grade is 45 onwards. On average, from 2019 to 2025, when I compared, the average grade boundary for an A is 45 out of 80. Out of 80. Now, boys, girls, did you all understand what I just told you all? I want you all to remember this. It is possible to score 100 even though you made some mistakes in your paper. Are we all okay with this? Sounds good? Okay. Now, is that in your head now? I want that to remain in your head. For Unit 1 and Unit 2, you can score 100 marks even though you made mistakes in your paper. Shall we have a look at Unit 2 now? Let's have a look at Unit 2. In Unit 2, the highest grade boundary has been how much? For A, the highest grade boundary has been 64. Let's stop there for a moment. Okay, if you score anything out of 80, 64 and above will get you an A. Okay, let's stop there for a minute. The big HTML question is how many marks? Is 20 marks. The big HTML question is 20 marks. Okay, so say for example, so we have one big HTML question which is 20 marks. We have another big Java question which is also 20 marks, and we have an essay type question which is 12 marks. How much is that all equal to? Not 12 marks, 9 marks, sorry, 9 marks. You have a big HTML question which is 20 marks. In Unit 2, you have a big JavaScript question which is 20 marks, and you have a big essay question which is 9 marks. That is 49 marks. Let's say you didn't do any of them. You didn't do the big HTML question. You didn't do the big JavaScript question. You didn't do the essay question also. You did all the small questions. That is how much? 49 marks. You lost 49 marks. When you lose 49 marks, guys, how much is remaining? 80 minus 49 will give you 31, correct? 31 marks. Where does 31 bring you? In terms of the highest grade, it's going to bring you to a U, which doesn't look good. In terms of average, a 31 will get you a D. Now, this is the highest grade boundaries. I'm talking about average. In terms of average, a 31 will get you a D, even though you left the HTML 20 marker, JavaScript 20 marker, essay type, all of them you didn't score any marks. You can at least end up with a D. Everyone okay with this? But that's not where we are looking at. What I'm trying to show you all is none of you are ever going to leave that question completely. No, you always attempt something in it. At least, 4 or 5 marks you always score from each and every one of them. Is it clear? What I want you all to understand is IT is not difficult for you all to score. You can score in IT. Okay? Like I told you all can achieve 100 even though you all made so many mistakes. Okay, right. Is that in your head now? Achieving 100 is not an impossible task, very much possible task. Now, one more thing I'm going to tell you all. Okay, what is the formula to know how much I need for 100? I'll tell you all this formula. Those who want to know this formula, keep it in mind. Those who do not want to know this formula and want to keep asking me, y'all can also do that. Okay, everybody? The formula is this is the formula. Everybody, this is the formula. How to score 100 for a unit. For unit 1 and unit 2, the formula is different from unit 3 and unit 4. So you all don't look at unit 3 and 4, you all look at unit 1 and 2. The raw mark of grade A minus the raw mark of grade B. Grade A, grade boundary is there now. Grade B, grade boundary is there now. Subtract the 2. Then multiply the difference by 2 and add it to the raw mark of grade A. Shall we take an example? So everybody, if we were to take the 2023 June Milo, how much do I need to score for unit 1 to get 100? Okay, we're looking at the 2023 June past paper. In 2023 June, for me to get 100 for unit 1, how much do I need to score minimum? Let's see. Everybody, what was the formula? Grade A minus grade B. 52 minus 46 is how much? Is 6. Multiplied by 2, 12. 12 plus 52 is how much? 54, 64. Is it clear? To get 100 marks, everybody, to get 100 marks, how much do you need? To get 100 marks, you need how much? You need 6. To get 100 marks, you need to have a mark greater than 64. Tell me, stop there for a second. Paper is out of 80. 80 minus 64 is how much? 64, 74, 16 marks. You can lose 16 marks and still achieve 100 for your unit 1 paper. Everybody okay with this? And nobody needs to know the details of how you got 100. You can say, I got 100. Okay, and you have the certificate to prove it also. I got 100. Is it clear? How I got 100? Nobody needs to know. Everybody okay with this? Okay. So guys, if you all work now, you guys seem to be okay. Okay, not the best yet, but I can see that journey you all are taking. You all are in the right direction. Just keep working on it. How do you work on it? Chapter-wise past paper questions are given, right? Marking scheme is also given, right? Attempt the question, check the marking scheme. As much as possible, try to stick with the examiner's answer. Like I told you, in A-level, the examiners are a lot more stubborn than O-level. In O-level, there's a lot of flexibility here. Okay, they try their best to, avoid students. That's why in O-level, you find many students getting A stars and A's and they get all excited. They come to A-level and there's a big drop. Because in A-level, examiners are very strict. Okay, that room of flexibility is not so much. Are we all okay with this? Okay. But what I want you all to understand is this is for IT. I don't know about other subjects, but in IT, there's a lot of room for you to score marks. Okay, how do you work on that, guys? Practice chapter-wise past paper questions. After you attempt a question, check the marking scheme. And if the examiner has mentioned things that you never thought of, note it down in your answer. Don't just read and move away. It won't retain in your head. Put it down, write it down in words, read it again to yourself. Okay, that's how the information retains in your head. Is it clear? And then once you're done with chapter-wise past paper questions, then we go paper by paper, 2019, 2020, 2021 June, 2021 October, 2022. Is it clear, guys? The same with practicals also. Practicals, you really have to keep practicing it. Okay, everybody. Okay, like I told you all, in JavaScript, the examiner is not testing your ability to code. He's testing your ability to read code. You guys will see in JavaScript, when you do past papers, such confusing code the examiner has used. He could have done it in 2 sentences. He'll do it in 10 sentences, in 10 lines. And you're like, why are you doing this? He's doing it to test your ability to read and understand code. He will put comments, but you have to be able to understand how it works. Is it clear? Okay. How do you understand it, guys? It's only through practice. As you keep practicing and practicing and practicing, after some time you get used to certain keywords used in code. Okay, everybody. So if you all can work on what you all can control, you all can control practicing, right? If you all can work on that, the result will take care of itself. Okay. There are some more other things I want to tell you all. How to achieve world prize, how to score A star. Okay. But if I tell that to you all now itself, it will confuse everyone. What do I want you all to remember for today? I want you all to remember. Jerome, your paper. Okay, I'll check it. I think Jerome only practical you did, right? I don't remember seeing your theory paper. What do I want you all to remember for today? Achieving 100 is possible even though you made mistakes. Think of mistakes like I left the entire 12 marker. Even if you leave the entire 12 marker, you can still score 100. Everybody okay with this? Okay. This is the level that it is at. Okay. Okay, Jerome. Practical I haven't sent yet. I'll be sending it shortly by the end of today. Okay. Right, boys, girls, that's what I want to tell you all. Like, as you all can see, guys, next week maybe we'll talk about how to score A star, how to win a world prize. We'll talk about that later. If I tell that to you all today, okay. But as you all can see, to win a world prize, you all need to get this 100. This 100 is what will make you eligible for world prize in your first attempt. Okay. So how to score A star, we'll keep that for later on. Okay. Right. So everybody okay now with this? Okay. Just keep that in mind. I'm not expecting perfect papers. All I'm saying is get better at every paper. Okay. As you keep getting better at every paper, then achieving 100 becomes a no big deal for you. Okay. Right. If you all have any questions, guys, do let me know. Okay. Every week we'll try and talk about these things. Okay. Right. Right. Everybody, we need to do exam correction now. Can we open up our paper? Once again, guys, I'll be heavily, you need to get your paper yet, no? I'll be heavily referring to the marking scheme, okay? Because I want you all to follow the marking scheme. Okay. Yes, Aman, your paper is here. In the break, towards the end of what you call before a break, just let me know. I'll send you your marks, okay? Right, everybody, can we have a look at the paper? Let's do our corrections now. Unit 1. By the way, everybody, our practical paper, I will not be doing corrections tomorrow. It's a past paper. We will be doing this past paper in class. Okay, so I will not be doing it tomorrow and then again later on. Once and for all in the class, I'll do it when we're doing past papers. Okay. Also, boys, girls, everybody, the past papers the office has printed. You all can purchase it from the office. I should have told you earlier, no? Tomorrow, no way of purchasing it. I'll share the details with you. I think it's available for 700 rupees. If you already have the past paper booklet, that's good enough. The Unit 2 past paper booklet, the office has printed. Okay, I'll share the details on the group with you all. If you all can have it by next week, that will be great. Okay, right. Everybody, let's start doing our corrections here. The marking scheme is here. And like I told you all guys, you all will notice how lenient the examiner has been with you all in this paper. The person who is marking this paper, just compare your answer to the marking scheme and you all will see how lenient he has been. Okay, if I was marking, I would have been a lot stricter than him. So at least 10-15 marks, you all would have lost it. Okay, but since this is the first exam, I'll let it pass. Right, everybody, a laptop uses firmware. State the purpose of firmware. Many of you all wrote it is used to boot up the device. It stores BIOS. Guys, that's just one of the functions, isn't it? But that examiner has accepted it from you all. Okay, but I'm asking you all overall, what's the purpose of firmware? So you can say over here, it contains instructions on how the device operates, how the device works, isn't it? Okay, so over here, can we say it contains, I think everyone has to take down this answer. It contains instructions on how the device functions. Everybody okay with this? Read the marking scheme answer. The basic instructions that allow a system to function. Take down the marking scheme answer. The basic instructions that allow a system to function. That is the purpose of firmware. Anyone remembers the storage used in firmware? Typically we use ROM. Okay, ROM is correct. Or flash memory. Generally ROM or flash memory is used for firmware. Okay. The basic instructions that allow a system to function. Everyone take it down. I don't think anyone wrote an answer like this. Many answers were like, it defines how the device starts up, it contains BIOS, and the person marking the paper has accepted it. I wasn't too happy with that. Right, everybody, the next question says, give one example of an item that is present in firmware. There are many things that are available in firmware, like instructions on how the device should start up. What do we call it? BIOS. Telling where to load the operating system from is bootloader, isn't it? Bootloader defines where to load the operating system from. Then you would have the date and time. Then you would have the device settings. Then telling how the device works with a computer system. What do we call that? Drivers. The drivers would also be stored in the firmware. Device drivers, okay? BIOS. What does BIOS stand for? Basic input output system. You can say bootloader, device drivers, the date and time, then settings of the device. Okay. CMOS is a battery. The name of the battery that powers the firmware is called CMOS. Okay, guys, convert your exam paper into a revision paper now. Okay, where next time, before the next exam, you can go through this paper as a revision paper. Okay. A printer is connected to the laptop. Identify the most appropriate type of wired connection to connect the printer to the laptop. Printer and laptop, which one is the most suitable? Sorry? USB cable. Okay. They are asking the most appropriate. Okay, everyone know what is HDMI, right? HDMI is used when you want to transfer multimedia like audio and video. Okay, Ethernet cables. Give me examples of Ethernet cables. RJ45. Go on, give me the models that we know of. Cat 6, Cat 7, coaxial cable. No, coaxial you can't take. Fiber optic. Okay, VGA cables. The blue cable with pins in them. Okay, normally CPU and monitor we connect using a VGA cable, visual graphics array cable. Okay. Right, boys, girls, what are two features of a device that make it portable? Okay, the weight, the battery life, battery power. Has the examiner accepted it? 1 second. Examiner has said yes, weight, size, and battery life. These three answers are accepted. But I think you all have written what do you call connectivity also? Wireless, they have accepted it, right? Not accepted. That's good then. But I saw many answers. He was very lenient with you all. Okay, everybody, can you all note it down if you all got it wrong? There are three possible answers: weight, size, and battery life. Weight, size, battery life. The next question has two parts to it. Part number 1 is asking you, what is a biometric device? Part 1. Part 2 is what kind of feature is an example of? Guys, your answer needs to be in paragraph format. Okay. So what is a biometric device? What does it scan? So it scans your fingerprint, all that you can say. What are all these? Fingerprints, facial, biometric data, unique physical traits, characteristics of a human being. Okay. It is a device that can scan the unique physical characteristics characteristics of a human being. Okay, like if you want to convince the examiner, like fingerprint and face. It is an example of a security feature. This is a complete answer. We'll read the marking scheme. Maybe there are words we never thought of. Let's look at those words. So everyone read the marking scheme answer, please. A biometric device can scan the same thing. It is an example of a security feature. Nothing much to say. Right. The next one also, many of you all scored your marks. I'm not going to write it down. Name 3 peripheral devices that can be found in an EPOS system. EPOS stands for? EPOS stands for? Come on. EPOS stands for? Electronic point of sale. Okay, the cashier's point. Okay, so there you can find devices like, Kenneth? You can find devices like, come on over here. Barcode scanner, a mouse, keyboard, touchscreen, printer, okay? Monitor, all those can be mentioned. Right, everybody, question number 3. A botanic garden sells plants in its own shop. The shop attaches a passive RFID tag to each plant. Describe how passive RFID tags work. Everyone look at the number of marks. 4 marks, which means there are 4 parts that need to be mentioned. Okay? So everybody, I want to directly show you the marking scheme to tell you all what are those 4 parts. Okay? Can everyone read the marking scheme with me? The RFID tag contains digitally stored information. The RFID tag has an antenna. The RFID reader sends a signal. Any tag within the range responds to the signal. RFID tag responds to signal by returning stored information from the microchip. RFID tag, the tag gets its power from what? Gets its power from the reader. And the RFID detector performs actions such as a result of exchange. Okay. Now here they have mentioned what point should be there, maximum 4. Now we have to put it together in a paragraph format and write it. So shall we get started, right? Shall we get started? So what shall I say? The passive RFID tag contains an antenna which is connected to the antenna inside the tag is connected to a what? To a microchip. To a microchip. Okay, go on. This microchip emits stored data. When does it emit stored data? When powered by the antenna. When powered by the antenna. When does the antenna receive power? The antenna is able to power it when the RFID reader sends signals, which can be detected by the antenna. Okay, everybody? The antenna is able to power the microchip, let's say, no? Microchip, when the RFID reader sends signals which can be detected by the antenna. The next question, many of you all scored marks. Okay. One use of RFID tags is to help reduce theft. Give one other way the shop could make use of the RFID tags on the plants. So one is for stock inventory purposes. You have a room full of plants. You can't be manually counting how many plants you have. Okay, you just lift the reader. It will scan all the tags that tell you how many plants are in the room. Next, you can use the tag to store information about the plant, like what? Like price, name of the plant. Okay. Another reason you can use the tag for? To track the growth of the plant or to track if the plant has been fed. Is it clear? To track the growth of the plant or to track whether the plant has been fed with fertilizers, with water, medicine, things like that. Okay. Let me see the marking scheme if they have mentioned anything we didn't think of. Everybody? Stock taking, logging, plant kya. Everybody saw this word? I had difficulty coming up with this word. I want to say you can use the RFID tag to record whether the plant was watered, if fertilizer was given to it. My answer was a very long answer. Look at the wording that they have used. Logging or recording the plant care. Simple word that covers everything that we were trying to say. Okay. Okay, everyone. Shall I move from Kavish? Shall I take it down answers? Okay. List two differences between passive, and I have told you a list, not describe. Just tell me the difference between passive and active. So what can you tell me, guys? Which one is battery powered? Okay. Active RFID tags are battery powered, while passive RFID tags receive their power from the reader. Something else? Which one is bulkier in size? Active RFID tags are bulkier in size because they have a battery inside it. Passive RFID tags can basically be stickers because they don't have a battery inside them. Something else? Which one has a longer detecting range? Because it's battery powered. Passive has a shorter detection range. Which one has a higher memory capacity? Active. Okay, active RFID tags have a larger memory capacity than passive RFID tags. Read the marking scheme, everybody. Hold on. Read the marking scheme. Active has a longer range. Sorry, battery powered. Okay, question 4, please. Question 4A says, so Sarah has purchased a smart TV. The features of the TV allow her to browse the internet, deal with email, and use interactive media. Identify the best statement. Sorry, the statement that best describes Sarah's TV. A, the TV is an example of technological convergence. Sounds okay. It is safer to browse with the TV than with a laptop. Nothing like that. The TV is, we never learned something called parallel development. Sarah can store her email messages on the TV. Yes, possible. So between A and D, which one is the best description? A seems to be the best description. Now I have a problem for you all. What is a multifunctional device? What is a like a smartwatch? Okay, define it. You gave me an example to support your answer. Define it now. It can perform the functions of multiple devices. So, for example, Shem mentioned the smartwatch. A smartwatch can give you time, which is the job of which device? the job of a watch. It can also be used as an alarm clock. Is it clear? A smartwatch can also perform the function of an alarm clock, which is a job of an alarm clock. It can also be used to track how many calories you have burnt, which is normally the job of a fitness tracker. Okay, agree now? Right. It can also be used for you to reply to SMSs, which is normally the job of a phone. It can also be used as a torch. They also have you can use a torch, which is normally the job of a torch. Everybody with me? So what do you mean by multifunctional? Where one device can perform the functions of many individual devices. Take a smartphone. A smartphone can be used as a camera, can be used as a torch, can be used as a radio player, can be used as a gaming console, can be used as a phone for calls and SMS. Is it clear? A smartphone is multifunctional because it can perform the jobs or the functions of many individual devices. Then what do you mean by convergence? What is convergence then? Convergence applies to what type of devices? So everybody, convergence generally, most of the time, applies only to multifunctional devices. Shall I give you all an example? What did I tell you all? Convergence applies to multifunctional devices. Devices that are already multifunctional, but you cannot categorize them. Now we are talking about convergence. You get it? I'll give you all an example. Can I consider a laptop as multifunctional? I can. Can I consider a tab as multifunctional? I can. Now look at this problem. Look at this problem now. Look at this device and tell me, is it possible for you to categorize this device? Do we put it as a laptop or do we put it as a tab? It's very difficult now for you to categorize, isn't it? This is what we call convergence. This laptop is also behaving like a tab. Laptop is already multifunctional. Tab is also multifunctional. But when you have a device where you cannot categorize which category it belongs to, you cannot distinguish which category it belongs to, that's when we call convergence. Another example, everyone. Samsung Note 20 Ultra. Look at the size of this device. It has a stylus also with it. Now what do? It's a multifunctional device. It is also like a tablet, which is also multifunctional. Now, do we call this a tablet or do we call this a smartphone? Like, what do we do here? This is what we call convergence. Okay? It's difficult for us to distinguish which category it belongs to. Everybody okay with this? This is convergence. Okay? So don't confuse between convergence and convergence, like I told you, generally applies to devices that are already multifunctional. Are we okay with this? The TV contains an embedded system. What do we mean by embedded? Identify the statement that best describes an embedded system. Embedded systems must contain flash memory. Girls, all of you all? No, but generally they do. But it's not a rule, right? It's not a rule that they must all have flash memory, no. But generally, most of them use flash memory. An embedded system is controlled by an external control unit. There are some embedded systems that are controlled by an outside unit, but that's not a rule. An embedded system is designed to perform a small number of specific functions. That sounds good. What about D? An embedded system must remain powered at all times? No. So here your closest answer, your best answer is C. Okay? When you see the word small number of specific functions, you say, you know what? This is what an embedded system sounds like. Then boys, girls, desktop PCs use firmware during the startup process. Identify the item that must be present in the firmware for a PC to be able to start. It needs bootloader because a bootloader will tell where to. What does a bootloader do? BIOS says how to start up. Bootloader will say, I just told you all today. What will a bootloader say? What will a bootloader instruct? That is BIOS. How to start up is BIOS. After BIOS, what's your next program? So how do you, guys, how do you know BIOS is loaded? What do you all see in BIOS? As you switch on your laptop, what's the first thing you see? Logo, correct. The logo, that's your BIOS. You see Asus, Lenovo, HP, Toshiba, that's BIOS loading. It's a very small program. Does the logo last for long? It's there for a second, right? You turn this way, look back, it's gone. Isn't it? Because BIOS is a very small program. It simply says how to start up. Then bootloader gets activated. What does bootloader do? So after BIOS, what's the next thing you see? You see your operating system. So what does bootloader do? Bootloader defines where to load operating system from. Is it clear? After BIOS, bootloader will state where to load the operating system from. Okay? So everybody, you need your bootloader in order for the device to start up. And here I was shocked. Come on, guys. 1 mark question. It is supposed to be a super easy question for you all. An employee has a text file of 12,288 characters. Each character in the file is 1 byte in size. Each character 1 byte. Calculate the size of the file in kilobytes. I want to do this properly. Everybody, what are the 2 number systems you all know of? Denary and binary. Tell me the whole thing. I'm going to start off with the denary number system. We are all taking it down. What do you all know about the denary number system? If I take 8 bits, 8 bits is equal to 1 character, or you can say 1 byte. 8 bits takes up a space of 1 byte. Then, since I'm using the denary number system, how many bytes can I gather together? I can put 1000 bytes together. These 1000 bytes will be equal to 1 kilobyte. If I put 1000 kilobytes together, I would get 1 megabyte. If I put 1000 megabytes together, I would get 1 gigabyte. If I put 1000 GB together, 1 terabyte. Then everybody, the next number system we know of is the binary number system. Over here, guys, again, 8 bits is equal to 1 byte. We do know that. But we don't have 1000 in binary. We have 1024. Now, you can't say kilo, no? You're going to confuse the user. Is it denary or binary? So, in binary, we don't say kilo, we say kilobyte. Again, 1024 KIB, kilobytes, is equal to 1 megabyte. 1024 megabyte is equal to 1 gigabyte. 1024 gigabytes is equal to 1 terabyte. Can you all take these down? Come on, take this down, please. Okay, so everybody, over here we have how many characters? Can somebody remind me? We have 12,288 characters. 12,288 characters. Okay, each character is equal to 1 byte. No, they told us. So that will be how many bytes? They told us each character in the file is 1 byte. This will be how many bytes? So 12,288 bytes, isn't it? If each character is 1 byte, the total file size will be 12,288 bytes. The examiner wants the answer in kibibytes, the binary number system. So everybody, when you go from bytes to kibibytes, small unit to big unit or big unit to small unit? Small unit to a big unit, right? You're going from bytes to kibibytes. So you have to divide, isn't it? Okay, so you can say file size in kibibytes, file size in KIB is equal to 12,288 bytes divided by 1024 kibibytes. That's all. Okay, your answer is in bytes, currently in bytes. You read it in kibibytes, divided by 1024. That's all. The next question is also very similar. Okay. The next question says what? Calculate the size of the file in bits. Right now we know this now. I'm going to copy and paste this. Right now we know the file is 12,288 bytes. They want the file size in 1 second, please. Okay, they want the file size in bits. So boys, tell me now, are we going? It's in bytes. They want the answer in bits. We are going from a big unit to a small unit or small unit to a big unit. We are in bytes. They want the answer in bits. So we are going from a big unit to a small unit. The answer is going to get bigger. It's going to get bigger because you will be multiplying. So 12,288 multiply by how much to get to bits? Multiply by 8 bits. You don't have a calculator. Keep your answer like this. Okay? Okay, everybody will try the next one then. Everybody read this fellow. The employee sends a 30 gigabyte file to another employee across their network that uses a 10 megabit per second Ethernet connection. Construct an expression to show how long in seconds it should take to transfer the file. Everybody, confusing question. Break it down into smaller parts so it becomes easy for you to understand. Everybody, 30 gigabyte file means what? This is your file size. Agree? This is your file size. 10 megabit per second is your bandwidth, okay, or your transfer rate. This is your bandwidth. You have the file size, you have the bandwidth. How long in seconds means time taken, right? Time taken over here. What are they asking for? They're asking for time taken. So everybody, what's the formula for time taken? Time taken is equal to is equal to file size divided by bandwidth, right? Or your transfer speed. Everybody okay with this? Time taken will be equal to your file size divided by your bandwidth. What's the file size we have? 30 GB bytes. Our bandwidth is 10 megabits per second. Any problem you all see here? What's the problem you see? Not two different number systems, correct? No? The numerator is using the binary number system. The denominator is using the decimal number system. There's also another problem. Bytes and bits. There's another problem also. The units, are the units the same? The units are also not the same. Number system is different. Bytes and bits. Numbers, what do you call? The units are also not the same. So can you all tell me, guys, what shall we bring both of them down to? What shall we bring both of them down to? Bring both of them down to bits. So you're saying the file size, bring it to bits, and the bandwidth, bring it to bits per second. Okay, so they are saying bring this to bits, bring this to bits, and bring this also to BPS, bits per second. You don't say BPS, we say bits per second. Because B is bytes, no? We'd say bits per second. Okay, everyone okay with this order then? You all don't have a calculator. Now, everybody, 30 gigabytes, I want to convert it to bits. Can somebody help me get there? Am I going from big to small or small to big? I'm going from big to small, right? I'm going from gigabytes to a very small unit known as bits. My answer is going to get really big. So I have to multiply here. So what's the order now? 30 GIB. Next, what do I have? 1024. Why do you say 1024? Because it's the binary number system. You saw gigabytes, no? So it's 1024. 1024 maybe bytes. Then again 1024 kilobytes. Then again 1024 bytes. Then again 8 bits. Very good. Nobody has a calculator, so the best you can do is simplify here. 30 times 1024 cubic times 8. Your unit is what? Bits. This is what your unit is. Okay? Kavish, the bandwidth also needs to be converted to bits, right? Bits per second. So what do we have now? 10 megabits per second, MBPS, needs to be converted to just bits. This is where everyone gets confused because it's already in bits now. Help me. Big unit to small unit or small unit to big unit? Big unit to small, because you're going from megabits to bits. The answer is going to get really big. How is it getting big? Because you'll be multiplying. Okay? So what do we have now? 10 MBPS multiplied by 1000 kilobits times 1000 bits. We are not going to bytes. We are not going to bytes. Okay, because our question was never in bytes. It's in megabits. So there's no need for us to touch on to bytes. Okay, we want to remain in bits. Multiply by 1000 bits. You can keep your answer like this, or you can write it as 10 to the power of how many zeros? 1. Huh? Just we can write 10 to the power of 7. 1 times 10 to the power of 7. Okay? There are 7 zeros now. 10 to the power of 7 bits per second. Bits per second. Now guys, remember time taken formula? Remember the time taken formula? So everybody, what do we write now? 30 times 1024 cubic times 8 divided by 10 to the power of 7. Our unit will be bits per second. Am I right? What are we calculating? Time. So will it be bits per second? It'll be second. It won't be bits per second, it will be second. I'm trying to calculate the time now. So it will be second. You could also do that. So Akash is saying over here, keep 10 megabits per second as it is. Convert the file size to megabits. Also correct. Okay, that is also possible. Okay, many ways of doing it. You choose your way. But isn't your way going to be a bit longer? You have to come down to bits and then again go up to you have to come down to bits and then again go up to megabits. Your way is not wrong. I'm saying it's a bit longer, isn't it? No, it will be equal, no? Because there is no conversion for bandwidth for him, no? I did that, but I got no marks. Sure. Rahma, could you WhatsApp me a picture? I have your paper online, right? And drop me a reminder window. Something should be wrong. Or maybe the examiner made a mistake. We'll see. Drop me a reminder, okay? If you didn't do that question, you should have done it. Now you know how it works, right? As long as we're learning from our exams, that's good. Okay? All right, everybody, let's move away from here. I think okay there? Let's do, what's the time? 1:10. Okay, let's do a few more. A school purchases 30 desktop PCs for its network. I saw your answer and I didn't like it at all. But the examiner has accepted it. Your answers are horrible, to be honest. It was a simple question. Purpose of system software, purpose of application software. All of you, I'll compare your answer with the marking scheme. You all will admit that you all don't deserve to get that mark. Okay, everybody, I'll show you all the marking scheme answer. The PC comes with system software, but no application software. State the purpose of system software. Software has two main categories. System, which manages the whole computer system. Is it clear? It manages the whole computer system. Read the marking scheme answer. One second, please. Let me close this. Read the marking scheme answer over here. Where is it? Allows the computer to run efficiently. Also, examiner is accepting. Okay, which I don't like, but he's accepting it. Helps maintain the computer and perform tasks that the computer needs. Allows the user to interact with the computer and control the hardware. Manages an entire computer system. I like the last two answers. All four accepted. What did you do? Can you guys note down one of these answers? Provides the user interface to control the hardware elements easily. System software doesn't provide user interface. Operating system provides the user interface. Okay. Everyone, can you note down one of these answers? Allows the user to interact with the computer and control the hardware. The answer I like more is manages and enter, because they're giving only one mark now. So I'll go with the simpler one. manages an entire computer system for the user. Manages an entire computer system for the user. State the purpose of application software. Helps the user in performing specific tasks. Helps the user in performing specific tasks. You want to write a letter, you'll go for word processing. Okay? Can I just quickly show you the marking scheme answer? Allows the user to carry out specific tasks, it says. One role of an operating system is to manage security. Explain one way in which an operating system could manage security in the school's network. Give me all the possible ways it can. After the break, we'll write down a complete answer. Tell me all the ways an operating system can protect a network. Anti-malware. Okay, it can contain an anti-malware which can detect for malicious software. A firewall, it can use a firewall to prevent unauthorized access from taking place. It will inspect every data, what you call data packet entering the network and exiting the network. Right, something else? Okay, check usernames and passwords, username and password. It can separate user accounts, isn't it? So each user can only access their files, not anybody else's files. Separate user accounts. Let me check the marking scheme and see if there's anything else I didn't think of. File access is almost the same as, okay, controls file access. Everybody, these are all the ways we didn't explain it. Okay, after the break, I'm going to explain how they work. Can you note down these different ways? Using anti-malware, using firewall, it can enable username and password, it can enable biometrics, it can separate user accounts, it can control file access or access rights. After the break, guys, I'll be talking about one of these answers. Aman, okay, I'll send it to you now. Yes, everybody, where were we? Which one shall I take? Everyone, can you first read the marking scheme answers? Boys, read the marking scheme answers and then one of these answers I'll write down. Okay? The operating system can have anti-malware. What is anti-malware going to do? It's going to prevent viruses from loading, from being executed or removing them. Okay? The operating system can enable user accounts. Okay? So users can only access their account, view only their files. Can you all go through this, guys? Okay, can you guys go through this? The operating system can have a built-in firewall to prevent unauthorized access from outside the network, from the internet. So which one shall I go with? I'll go with firewall then. Okay, everybody, these are the possible points. Which one shall we go with? We'll go with firewall. Okay, the operating system, the firewall, the operating system, the operating systems, the operating systems, firewall could be used to prevent unauthorized access from taking place on the network. Okay. Okay, shame all of you all done. Okay, I'm moving away from here. Don't take word after word. Read it to yourselves. Try to paraphrase it. Okay, you're copying word after word and you're copying it down. You're not really retaining or understanding anything. Right, everybody. Question number 7. A software development company releases their software as proprietary software. Explain what is meant by proprietary. So what makes a software proprietary? We learned 3 types of software sources. Not 3, we actually learned 4. What were the 3, guys? One is proprietary, with the one which gives you the least freedom. And then you have free software, where you have complete freedom to do whatever you want with the software. Okay, there's another one where this focus is on the source code. What do we call that? Open source. Okay, free software, the focus is on collaboration, community building. Okay, that's what the focus is on. In open source, the focus is on making the source code available so you can develop whatever version you want. So what is meant by proprietary software? This is software where the source code is not provided. Agree? Users have a very strict terms and conditions to follow, right? Isn't it? Can they modify it? Can they distribute it? Can they make copies of it? Definitely no. Okay, so let's have a look at the examiner's marking scheme. Software that is not distributed with the source code, software that is very strict on how users can use it. Okay, everyone okay with this? Some of you all wrote answers and got marks, but the answers are not that great. Okay, read your answers, you will notice it is somewhat okay, but not the best. A finance organization buys an institutional license for the software. Describe what the institutional license allows a finance organization to do. So an institutional license will define the number of devices within the organization that can access the software, that can use the software. Shall we write that down first? An institutional license. An institutional license will allow for a limited number of devices within a particular organization, to use the software. Are we all okay with this? So in an institutional license, number of devices are more than one, but it's limited, and it's limited to only devices within that organization. What are the different software licenses you all know of? There is one where only one user can use it. Single user. There is one where there is more than one user can use it. Multi-user. Then there is one where it's a one-time payment only and then you can use it forever. One-time payment, I said. Yeah. Indefinite. Indefinite is where it's a one-time payment and then you can use it forever. Opposite of indefinite, what did you say? Fixed term, where your license is valid for a certain period only. 1 year, 6 months, whatever. Then there is another one, institutional. Then there is another one where if you had a client to server model, you could use it. Client to server model will use what type of software for all the clients to use? Network license. Okay, if you had a client to server model, you would use the network license. Okay, where from the server you can control the number of users that can use the software. Okay. Right, question 8, please, everybody. Julia is a website developer. She designs and builds websites to meet the requirements of clients. Julie creates images for some websites. She licenses these images using Creative Commons. State 2 Creative Commons license conditions that she could apply. Many of you all scored your marks here. But everybody, there is one answer I never taught you all, which I'm going to show it to you all now. So what were your answers, guys? If the author wants you to give credit to them, what would they say? Attribution. Attribution. Then if the author doesn't want you making any changes to it, no derivatives. No derivatives. No. If the author doesn't want you to be using it for any money-making purposes, non-commercial. Then if the author wants you to share it with the same terms and conditions that he has published it with, we call that share alike. Okay, and there is one more, we call it public, what? This was not there in the textbook, but it's called public domain, all rights released. This is also accepted. Public domain means no conditions upon it. You can use it however you wish to use it. Okay, public domain or no all rights released. Can everyone know this down? I never taught it to you all. Okay, so now this is another derivative. This is another condition or another element you can mention in Creative Commons. Public domain or all rights released. This is where there are no limitations upon the material. The next question also, most of you all scored your marks. Difference between a patch and an upgrade. Generally, you guys scored your marks. Okay. So everybody, what is a patch, guys? Used to fix a small number of errors to improve the functionality. Okay. An upgrade is where a whole new version. It would contain new functionality, new features. Okay. All this would be there. Everybody, two words. I want you all to note down the meaning of two words. Feature and functionality. Can you guys do or note it down? The meaning of feature is what? Everybody, this one, I think many of you all scored full marks. So I'm not doing a correction here. A software patch is a small update that would contain fixing bugs, improving functionality. Okay. While an upgrade is a major update, which would introduce new features, new functionality. Okay. Everybody, can you all note down the meaning of feature? Feature refers to what the software offers the user. Everybody okay with this? Feature refers to what the software offers the user. Okay. So for example, smartphones, boys, a simple example, a smartphone has an autocorrect feature. Okay. It can autocorrect your spelling mistakes. How does autocorrect work? How does it work? That's known as your functionality. Okay, it compares words in the British, what do you call it, the UK dictionary or in the American dictionary, or it does not correct names. How does it work is known as functionality. Okay, so functionality refers to how a feature works. So a feature refers to what the software offers the user, like maybe features like adaptive brightness, what you call autocorrect keyboard. These are features. How does autocorrect work? How does adaptive brightness work? That's functionality. Just know the meaning of these two words, okay? Right, let's move away from here then. A computer is connected to a network using a cable. The computer has an NIC, which stands for Network Interface Card. The network uses both a switch and router, and it has a client to serve a network structure. State the role of the NIC. Again, I saw many got 1 mark, but the answer wasn't good. Many of you all scored 1 mark, but compare your answer with a marking scheme. First, tell me, what do you all know about a network interface card? What does it contain? It contains a MAC address. If you mention that, that's enough to get 1 mark. Okay, it contains the MAC address of a device. What did you say? The NIC provides the device. NIC doesn't provide it. The NIC has it. It's not like the NIC is generating a MAC address, right? The NIC, you don't install it. It is done in the factory itself. The factory itself, when they fix a NIC, the NIC has a serial number. That serial number is known as the MAC address. Okay, so you can say the examiner accepts if you say the NIC contains the MAC address of a device. That's accepted. The NIC is responsible for connecting a device to a network. That's also a valid answer. And the examiner this time has also mentioned something else. Look here. The NIC is what board? It is a circuit board built into a device. Even that is accepted. Okay, I would avoid taking down this answer, but I'm just showing you the possibilities he has given. If you said circuit board built into a device, accepted. Connects a device to a network, accepted. Allows a device to have a wired or wireless connection, accepted. Okay. Responsible for connecting a device to a network. Explain the difference between a switch and a router. There are many differences. Exactly, a switch forwards data packets based on MAC addressing. Okay, a switch forwards data packets based on MAC address, while a router forwards data packets what? Based on IP address. Anything else? A switch contains a table known as MAC addressing table, which is the port number and the MAC address of every device connected to that port. A router contains a routing table, which is the IP address of every device connected to the router. Okay. Is there a website that you know so I can get data files to practice ICT? So everybody, the Edexcel official, all of you look, somebody else also asked me this question. Everybody, if you come to Google and type Edexcel, we are doing IAL, International Advanced Level, IAL, IT. If you type this, the first result in Google will take you to Edexcel's IT page. Everyone saw this, no? Edexcel IAL IT. Okay, can you all see? First result. It might not be the first file sometimes. It could be the second or third. Okay, you all know why, no? Based on our cookie data, it could be different. Okay, but definitely in the first page. Okay? So, only 2025 will be locked. The last year will. So everyone, look here. I opened it up. Okay, I opened it up. Now everybody, we are in the IT area. Okay. Then boys, look, keep watching, keep watching. Now we are in specification. You all are not interested in that. You all are interested in course material. What type of course material are you all interested in? You all are interested in the exam material. That's what you all want. Okay. So now year by year, they are showing you the exam material. Okay, 2025 is locked. You all want to have access to it. Here, it's all locked. But if you come down to 2024, 2024 also is locked. The data files are locked. But below that, it should be open here. Here, the data files are here. Unit 2 data files are there. Okay, Unit 4 data files are here. The question, you can see, right? Question paper, Unit 4, you all don't need. Question paper, Unit 1, Unit 2, marking scheme, Unit 1, Unit 2. And guys, I would also recommend, maybe not now, maybe later on, read the examiner's reports also. He will tell you the common mistakes students made. Why did he deduct marks? Why did he award certain marks? Not always will the comments be useful, but if you get time, maybe before the exams, go through the comments as well. Okay, how is he awarding marks? What did he deduct for? What did he award for? Common mistakes many students made. Everybody okay with this? Okay, everyone saw this, no? Do a Google search Edexcel IAL IT. The first result come there, come to course material, exam materials. Okay. Right, everybody, can we show you the marking scheme also? Can you guys read it? A switch only works with wired devices. A router works with both wired and wireless. We didn't think of that term. We mentioned this routing table, MAC addressing table, and we also mentioned this. A router forwards data packets based on IP address, and a switch forwards data based on MAC address. Everybody, the next one. The cable is a copper-based cable. Which one of these is not copper-based? Fiber optic. Did you all get it correct? You got it correct. Give 2 benefits of a client to server network architecture. I'm asking you just to give 2 marks only. You can simply tell me what are the benefits you all know of. Centralized management or centralized administration, we can say. You can manage the entire network from the server. Agree? Uber, Instagram, PickMe, all of them. All the clients are managed from the server itself. Centralized administration. Yes. What did you say? Yes. No, you can't talk about security. Anything connected to a network is vulnerable to being attacked, right? So security, no. But you can say security is where I'm managing the entire security. For example, all PickMe drivers have to use OTP. You implement OTP from where? You go to every driver's smartphone, take it? No. You implement it from the server, right? So what can we say? Centralized security, or security can be implemented to all clients from the server. Is it clear? Or security for the network can be improved from the server itself. You get it? You don't have to go to every single client's device and improve security. No. Okay, so you can say centralized security for entire network. Something else? Automated backups or centralized data storage. All your data is stored onto the server itself. If any client goes down, the data is not lost because it's on the server. Okay? Centralized backup of data. Something else? If a client goes down, does the whole network get affected? No. One client failing doesn't affect the whole network. But what's the other way around? Other way around is what? Disadvantage is what? If the server fails, your whole network is gone. Easier to update and administer. No. What do you mean by easier, Yenula? Easier, faster, cheaper, better. Do not accept without explanation, without justification. You need to tell me what is easy about it. Let me show you the marking scheme then. Everybody, we didn't think about this now here. Collaborative working can be achieved. You know what collaborative working means, right? Multiple clients from their own devices, from various locations, can work together on files that are on the server, right? Collaborative working. Nobody thought about that. Right, let's have a look at question number 10, everybody. What are 2 ways that devices can be connected using a wired connection? Twisted pair cable, fiber optic cable, okay. You wrote those 2, you got full marks. Twisted pair cable, fiber optic cable. The marking scheme is also accepting coaxial cable, power line cable, USB cable. Everybody okay with this? These are being accepted. No. We are talking about network. You wrote power line. You should change it. Everybody, what are two ways the devices can be connected using a wireless connection? Microwaves. You look at the textbook, guys. At the top of our head, what do we think? We think of Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, right? Okay, but if you look at a textbook, they are not accepting Wi-Fi. It is a O-level answer. In A-level now, we talk about the exact signal type. Microwaves, radio waves, okay? What is the role of a router in a network? Okay, we can finish this, no? What is the role of a router in a network, guys? Network, not internet. Some of you have spoken about ISP. Boys, some of you have spoken about ISP. They didn't say connecting to the internet. They said connecting to a network. So ISP answer cannot be taken, okay? So what shall I say over here? The role of a router is to forward data packets in a network is to forward data packets to the correct device based on IP address. Anything else you can tell me? You wrote that. Forward data packets on the shortest route, okay, based on the IP address, or compare the IP address on the data packet, inspect the IP address on the data packet and compare it to the what table? Routing table. Compare the routing table to identify which device to forward the data packet to. Give one advantage of Wi-Fi over Ethernet for connecting devices on a local area network. Everybody, what should I talk about over here? Advantage of Wi-Fi over Ethernet. Ethernet means a wired connection, a cabled connection. So what does Wi-Fi have that Ethernet doesn't have? It is wireless. So portability means devices can be used within a given range. You're not fixed to one point, right? Isn't it? Okay, you can say no wires, so no tripping hazards. No wires, so your setup cost will be cheaper. Isn't it? You can say no wires, so no tripping hazards. Okay. Devices can access the network. Not as I say this, we'll just keep this. I'll just show you the other answers, everybody. No wires, so no tripping hazards. Portability, like you said, no tripping hazards, less messy, low setup cost. Okay. Let's do question 11 and then it's the last one. Last two. Everybody, question 11. This is the maximum amount of data that can be transferred from one device to another in a set amount of time. Maximum amount is your bandwidth. Dialog advertises its bandwidth to you, the maximum amount of data that they can supply to you. Latency is the data packets. What? The delay in transmitting data packets across a network. The delay in transmitting data packets across a network. This is the amount of data that actually passes through the network from one device to another in a set amount of time. This is your throughput, the actual amount. The amount right now, what do we call it? Bandwidth is the maximum. Speed. If I were to check the amount right now, that is speed. Right now, how much is it transferring is speed. At the end of transferring, when I measure, that's throughput. Error rate is what? The number of data packets or the percentage or the rate, the percentage of data packets that get corrupted during transmission. Not amount of, that is your throughput now. Amount of data that can be sent per second, you have said. Latency is the delay. We measure it in milliseconds. How long is it taking for data to return back to us? Okay, everybody, guys, tomorrow practical, no? Not doing correction, little bit of job. Oh, after I'll get your past papers, I'll do past. After I'll get the past paper booklet, I'll do past papers with you all. Then tomorrow only JavaScript will do. Okay, I'll let you all know. Okay, everybody, tomorrow back to practicals then. Until we meet again tomorrow. Take care, stay safe.